right, it's time for the next edition of Serenity Before Sunrise. My name is Sophia Antoine, and I am so glad that you are here. I'm glad that we are here together for this journaling and motivation. So, without further ado, let's get started because I know you have a jam-packed day. That's why we do this before sunrise, before we have to rush. Now, since this is on social media, of course you can journal whenever your schedule allows, but my suggestion is getting up a little bit earlier to go ahead and get your thoughts and everything that's in your heart together, get it down on paper so it is not plaguing you throughout the day. And if you're anything like me, I have squirrel brain, so these things that I don't get out early in the morning will just take my attention away from things that I'm supposed to be doing, and I'll be like in the middle of some type of activity or in the middle of some work, and I go thinking about a thought creeps in and my attention is going that way. A thought creeps in, my attention goes that way. So that's what happens to me. So of course you're nothing like me and you stay focused all day long, right? Probably not. We're probably exactly alike, and the things that are in your head and your heart build up, and it just makes you not as productive as you could be. But we're here to solve that with this journaling and motivation. So today I want to give you our prompt, which is you come first. And I'm going to say this ahead of time. I'm giving you the prompt early because usually I give it to you at the end. But what can you do to ensure your self-care while being a caregiver? You can recruit people to be part of your respite team. You definitely need a respite team, and I'll tell you why. And what type of activities will you do with your time away from caregiving? Now, the personal story that I will share is due to my husband's chronic illness, because with my kids, we never had real problems with having, because grandma was always there, my father was there. You know, we had different things, different people in place to take care of the kids, but when it came to my husband's chronic illness, that was majorly our responsibilities on ourselves. So that's where my story comes in. Yours may be different, so you plan accordingly. I'm just sharing what happened with me. So I wrote it all down because I didn't want to forget anything. So you absolutely have to put a plan in place when you become a caregiver for another person, which means, of course, your children, your loved ones, your parents, anything like that. So this is all encompassing, right? So my story is my husband had his kidney transplant surgery, the initial one, on December 10th of 2015. And subsequently, there was a problem. There was a rupture, and we had to go back in, I think about maybe 5 days later, for a second major surgery at the site. So he had 2 surgeries at the same site. So we spent about 14 to 18 days in the hospital at Christmas time. Our children were at home by themselves. Thank God for our neighbors, because they really picked up and checked in on the kids and took care of them on Christmas because we were at the hospital. And I went back and forth because we lived in Fort Lauderdale and the hospital, the transplant hospital, was in Miami. So back and forth for me driving, and I was guilty. I felt guilty either way. So I suffered from what people call compassion fatigue. I was burnt out. I was not sleeping, and when I did sleep, I napped. I bathed in we had a shower since, I mean, if you have major surgeries, they do provide accommodations, but it wasn't my shower, right? I slept on a half a couch, so there was a lot. So, and he had 2 major surgeries within a couple weeks, and I was burnt out, and I'm just reading from my notes. You know, I love my notes. I had some serious compassion fatigue going on. So for people who don't know what compassion fatigue is, it's emotional, physical, and sometimes psychological exhaustion from caring or helping someone who has some medical issue going on, or they have something going on. And for me, I can tell you, I also felt guilt. I felt a little bit of guilt because I was the healthy one and doing a lot of stuff that he probably would have been doing during that time. So I also felt powerless and not being able to help as much as the doctors and nurses. I know it's silly, but it was my feelings, right? So looking back, I was like, there's nothing I possibly could have done aside from becoming a doctor. And I probably wouldn't have become one in enough time to be able to help, right? So that's that. But that's the way I felt nonetheless, because I can share that with you, right? So I was feeling really, really badly about it. And I was asleep one day. He was in bed, and finally my body said, girl, you gonna sleep. So I was sleeping and he was talking to me, and I was just so inattentive. I felt really bad, but I was inattentive, and I snapped at him, and I felt really bad. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I felt bad, really did. So there are 2 times when I was completely burnt out. The first surgery, it was the second surgery. And after we got home from the second surgery, where everything kind of got fixed. Well, it did get fixed because we didn't have another hospital stay there after. So that was the first time when I was sleeping on the half a couch. The second time would have been when we were at home and he couldn't sleep because of the anesthesia, because people don't tell you that anesthesia has such different effects on everybody. So when he finally got home, plus he was on different medications and not able to sleep, the kids and I took shifts and staying up, and he did cat naps like 10 minutes and 15 minutes at a time. So there was a time when I just really felt really badly after that, again from lack of sleep. And one day I just had to get out of the house. I felt like the walls were closing in. It's because I didn't have anybody. It was just me and our 3 children, and we were taking shifts. The kids were able to get away and go with friends or go to school and things like that while I stayed home. I was able to work from home for a little while, but it was a major undertaking. Now, in preparation for your caregiving journey, please make sure you enlist people, even if you have to pay them. Enlist people that will be able to give you a break so you can get away and just be yourself and do things for yourself while your person is at home being cared for. This may take a little while. That's why I suggest you do it ahead of time if you can, but it'll take a little while to just find somebody, if you have to bring in, people you have to pay that you trust and they are in line with what you need in regards to caregiving. Did we eventually get through it? Absolutely we did. But those times were rough because we had to learn how to navigate this whole situation because we didn't have family in the area, neither one of us. So do what you can do. I want to share my story in depth with you so you won't have to go through the things that we went through. That's the whole reason I became a coach, because there's so many hardships in life that I've overcome that makes me want to reach out and help other people. Because if I've overcome it, I can give you the secret, or at least my journey, my pathway, where you can go ahead and use it as a roadmap for you to overcome your stuff. All right. So let's see. I gave you the prompt, but I'll reiterate because it was a little bit ago. What can you do to ensure your self-care? Make a plan now, just in case, and tuck it away. Go ahead, see, right up here, bit.ly/connectwithcoach. Grab the Caregiver Starter Kit. Absolutely free. Free for you. Free for you to give it to whoever you want to give it to. Grab that, and it will help you on this caregiving journey, okay? I hope that this was helpful. It was definitely helpful for me once I overcame a lot of the stuff and we kind of got in the swing of things. But getting in that swing takes a lot. Go ahead and drink your water, take your vitamins, and mind your business. Take care of yourself out there. It's not easy, but it's most definitely necessary. All right, I'll see you in the next video.